Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going straight to the heart of ancient Jerusalem to explore angels. But not just any angels. We're going way back, before the Common Era, uncovering how they were understood in Jewish literature.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating is we're not just talking about ethereal beings, with wings and halos. We're delving into how these figures were perceived as powerful forces, intricately woven into the very fabric of the cosmos.
And for this one, our guide is the research of Andre Mubarak. He's an Aramaic-speaking Christian, lives and teaches in Jerusalem, exploring the Aramaic roots of the Christian faith. And you can find more of his work on his website. It's www.twinsbiblicalacademy.com.
Now it's important to remember that even before the Common Era, the concept of angels, or malakah in Hebrew, malakhin in Aramaic, was already evolving.
So these weren't just messengers, like delivering divine telegrams.
Right. Their roles were expanding. It reflects a growing complexity in theological thought.
So they weren't just errand runners for the divine. What kind of roles were they taking on?
Think of it this way. Early on, angels was seen as divine envoys, almost like celestial diplomats, carrying out God's will. But as time went on, they became associated with more profound concepts: judgment, healing, even the act of creation itself.
Wow. That's quite a leap. Instead of just relaying messages, they were thought to be involved in shaping reality.
Exactly. Their roles became much more integrated into the workings of the universe, reflecting a deeper understanding of the divine order.
Okay, so we're talking about serious cosmic players here. Who are some of the big names we should get to know?
Well, let's start with Michael, often depicted as the ultimate warrior angel, the defender of Israel, battling cosmic adversaries.
Ah, the classic warrior angel. What makes Michael such a compelling figure, particularly in the context of ancient Jewish communities?
In texts like the Book of Daniel, he's portrayed as a force to be reckoned with, almost an extension of God's power, sometimes even referred to as the angel of the Lord, or Malak.
That title, Angel of the Lord, is that a literal representation of God, or more of a symbolic embodiment of divine power?
That's a question that has sparked debate among scholars. Some believe it points to a manifestation of God himself, while others see it as a way of describing an angel imbued with extraordinary authority and power.
So even within ancient texts, there were nuances in how these figures were understood. Very interesting. Who else should we meet on this angelic A-team?
Well, we can't forget Gabriel, known as the revealer of secrets, the divine messenger who communicates directly with humanity. You see him in the Book of Daniel, interpreting apocalyptic visions and delivering prophecies.
So Gabriel represents this idea of divine knowledge being transmitted to humans. Does this suggest an evolution in his role, perhaps from a simple messenger to a conduit for deeper, more esoteric knowledge?
That's a very astute observation. It's not just about delivering a message. It's about revealing hidden truths, unlocking mysteries that would otherwise remain inaccessible. To humans, this definitely connects to the development of Jewish mysticism, where the interpretation of divine secrets becomes central.
The Gabriel isn't just a messenger, but a key that unlocks a deeper understanding of the divine plan. What about Raphael? What kind of role does he play in this angelic lineup?
Raphael is distinct in his role as the compassionate healer and guide. He's a prominent figure in the Book of Tobit, where he restores sight and offers guidance to those in need.
So if Michael represents divine power and Gabriel represents divine knowledge, would it be accurate to say Raphael embodies divine compassion and mercy?
Absolutely. He bridges the gap between the divine and the human experience, demonstrating God's direct care for humanity, even on an individual level.
It's fascinating how these different angels seem to embody different facets of the divine. And then there's Uriel. The name itself means God is my light.
Exactly. Uriel is often depicted as a guide through celestial mysteries, especially within apocalyptic literature, like the Book of Enoch. He illuminates hidden knowledge and helps humans navigate complex spiritual landscapes.
We've got the warrior, the revealer, the healer, and now the illuminator. Are there other angels in Jewish tradition that played such distinct roles?
There are indeed. Two others we should touch on are Yahoel and Eremiel. Yahoel's name actually embodies the divine name itself. He acts as a mediator between God and humanity, bridging those two realms.
An angel whose name represents God. That's a powerful concept. What does that tell us about how ancient communities understood the relationship between the divine and humanity?
Yahoel's existence suggests an awareness of the vast gulf between the human and the divine. It implies a need for an intermediary, someone who can bridge that divide and facilitate communication and understanding.
So Yahoel represents this early exploration of divine interaction. What about Uriel? What makes him stand out?
Eremiel oversees judgment and the souls of the dead. He offers a glimpse into ancient beliefs about the afterlife and the concept of divine justice.
That's a pretty weighty responsibility. What can Eremiel's role tell us about how people grappled with questions about mortality and the afterlife?
His presence highlights the significance of moral conduct and the idea that actions in this life have consequences beyond the physical realm. It speaks to a deep-seated human preoccupation with what lies beyond death and the desire for some form of cosmic accountability.
It seems like each of these angels reflects a different aspect of the human experience. Our need for protection, our desire for knowledge, our longing for healing, and even our anxieties about death and judgment.
That's a keen observation. It's almost as if these angelic figures emerged as a way for people to make sense of the complexities of life, death, and the divine. And it's fascinating how these angelic figures, with their diverse roles and profound connections to the divine, might have influenced the development of early Christian thought.
That's a connection I'm really eager to explore. How might these ideas about angels have shaped the way early Christians viewed Jesus?
Well, let's consider Michael again. We've talked about him as the ultimate warrior, defender of Israel, wielding divine power against cosmic threats.
Right, almost like a heavenly champion, fighting on behalf of humanity.
Exactly. And in early Christian thought, Jesus is also seen as a divine figure who triumphs over spiritual adversaries. He's the one who conquers sin and death, offering salvation and eternal life.
So both Michael and Jesus embodied this idea of good overcoming evil, but on different scales, one on a cosmic level, the other on a more personal spiritual level.
Precisely. It's as if the image of the warrior angel, battling against darkness, provided a framework for understanding Jesus' role as a spiritual savior.
That's a compelling parallel. And what about Yahoel, the angel whose name embodies the divine name itself? How might his role as a mediator have influenced Christian understanding of Jesus?
Remember, Yahoel bridges the gap between God and humanity. He represents this idea of a divine intermediary, someone who can facilitate communication and understanding between those two realms.
And that's a role that early Christians also attributed to Jesus, right? He's seen as the ultimate mediator, the one who reconciles humanity with God.
Exactly. The concept of a divine figure who bridges the gulf between heaven and earth wasn't entirely new. It had already been explored through figures like Yahoel.
So these pre-existing ideas about angelic mediators might have paved the way for understanding Jesus' role. As a divine intercessor, it's like these earlier traditions provided a foundation upon which Christian theology could build.
It's a reminder that religious ideas don't emerge in a vacuum. They evolve and adapt, drawing inspiration from earlier beliefs and traditions.
It's like a tapestry, woven with threads from different eras, each contributing to the richness and complexity of the overall picture.
What's also intriguing is how the specific roles of these angels might have informed how early Christians understood Jesus's nature and mission.
What do you mean?
Well, think about Raphael, the healer. He embodies God's compassion and mercy, reaching out to alleviate human suffering. This resonates with the Christian emphasis on Jesus as a healer, a miracle worker who demonstrated God's love through acts of compassion.
That makes sense. It's as if the idea of an angel dedicated to healing foreshadowed a key aspect of Jesus' ministry.
And then you have Uriel, the illuminator, who guides humanity through spiritual darkness and reveals hidden knowledge. This connects to the Christian understanding of Jesus as the light of the world, the one who brings truth and enlightenment to those who follow him.
So even in these seemingly minor details, we can see these echoes of earlier angelic traditions, shaping how early Christians perceive Jesus.
It's a reminder that exploring these ancient beliefs can shed light on the evolution of religious ideas and help us understand the complex interplay between different traditions.
So to recap our journey so far, we've gone from these simple messengers to cosmic forces, encountered warriors, revealers, healers, and illuminators. And we've even begun to see how these figures might have paved the way for a new understanding of the divine in the form of Jesus.
And it's worth noting that this exploration of angelology is just one small window into the rich and complex world of ancient Jewish thought and its enduring impact on Western spirituality.
It's incredible to think about the ripple effects of these beliefs, how they've resonated across centuries, and continue to shape our understanding of spirituality and the divine. But before we wrap up, there's one question I have to ask, if we know all this, about how angelology evolved. What does it tell us about how humans try to understand the divine? How do these ancient beliefs about angels reflect our ongoing quest to grasp something so vast and mysterious?
It's a fascinating question. It seems we humans have this inherent need to conceptualize the divine, to give form to the formless, and angels, with their specific roles and attributes, offer a way to do that.
Trying to break down the infinite
Yeah,
into more manageable parts.
right. Creating a framework we can grasp.
Exactly. We envision intermediaries like Yahoel, bridging the gulf between our finite world and the infinite realm of God. We imagine protectors like Michael, fighting on our behalf against forces we can't even comprehend.
So angels become these tangible representations of divine attributes: power, knowledge, compassion, justice. It's a way of making the abstract more concrete, more relatable. And it's not just about making the divine more accessible. These angelic figures also reflect our own hopes and fears. You see our longing for healing in Raphael, our anxieties about judgment in Eremiel.
It's almost as if angels provide a mirror to our own human experience, reflecting both our aspirations and our anxieties.
Back to us. And that mirror is constantly evolving. As our understanding grows and our beliefs shift, the angels of today might be different from the angels of tomorrow. But the underlying human need to connect with the divine, to find meaning and purpose in a vast and often chaotic universe, that remains constant.
This has been such an eye-opening journey, tracing the evolution of angels, from simple messengers to these complex cosmic forces. It's amazing how these ancient beliefs continue to resonate, even today.
It is, isn't it? And for anyone who wants to delve even deeper into this fascinating world, I highly recommend exploring the work of Andre Mubarak.
Yes, his website is www.twinsbiblicalacademy.com. It's a treasure trove of information about the Aramaic roots of the Christian faith and the rich tapestry of angelology that emerged from those ancient traditions.
This deep dive has offered a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between heaven and earth seem to blur, where powerful angelic beings play a role in shaping both the cosmos and the human experience.
From warriors to healers, revealers to illuminators, angels have captivated our imaginations. For centuries, they continue to invite us to ponder the mysteries of the divine and our place within a universe filled with wonder and awe.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep that sense of wonder alive. The world of angels and the mysteries of the divine are always waiting to be uncovered.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of angels before the Common Era. Until next time, may your journey be filled with illumination and guidance.